Who allowed this village girl into my house?
Because this house belongs to me too.
What nonsense are you talking about?
Because you're my mother. Because you're my mother.
Three days earlier, the city of Douala was just waking up. Cars slowly filled the busy streets. Market sellers arranged fruits on wooden tables. And inside one of the most luxurious neighborhoods in the city stood a mansion everyone knew about. It belonged to Madame Solange Ekambi, a powerful businesswoman. Some people admired her, others feared her, but no one knew the secret she had carried in her heart for more than 20 years. A secret that was about to walk right into her house. The village girl. Far away from the city, near the green hills outside Limbe, a young woman stood beside a dusty road. Her name was Eliane Nzi. She was 23 years old. Her life had never been easy. She grew up in a small village house made of wood and clay. Her mother worked every day selling roasted plantains by the roadside. They never had much. But her mother always told her something strange. One day your life will change. Eliane never understood what that meant, until the day her mother became very sick.
This village, our family.
One evening, inside their small house, Eliane sat beside her mother's bed. Her mother's voice was weak. Her breathing was slow. She reached for Eliane's hand and placed something small inside it. A bracelet. It was made with tiny red beads and a small golden charm. Her mother whispered softly, "Keep this safe." Eliane looked confused. "Why, Mama?" Her mother closed her eyes for a moment. Then she whispered something Eliane would never forget. "This belongs to your real family." Eliane felt her heart stop. "What do you mean?" But her mother had already grown too weak to answer. That night, Eliane lost the only parent she had ever known. Two weeks later, Eliane packed her small suitcase. There was nothing left for her in the village, but she remembered the strange words her mother had said. Your real family. With the bracelet hidden safely inside a necklace around her neck, she boarded a taxi heading to Douala. The city looked enormous compared to the quiet village she had known. Tall buildings, crowded streets, endless traffic. But Eliane had only one goal: find work, start a new life. After asking many people for directions, Eliane finally arrived in front of a massive iron gate. Behind it stood a mansion larger than anything she had ever seen. White pillars, tall glass windows, beautiful gardens. This was the home of Madame Solange Ekambi, one of the richest women in Cameroon. Eliane hesitated for a moment, then she pressed the bell. The gate slowly opened. An older woman, wearing a traditional head wrap, walked toward her. Her name was Mama Mireille, the housekeeper. She looked Eliane up and down carefully. Yes? Eliane spoke politely. My name is Eliane. I came for the house job. Mama Mireille frowned. You came from the village? Yes, ma'am. Mama Mireille sighed. We always need more hands to clean this big house. She opened the gate wider. Come in. Eliane had no idea that step would change her life forever. The inside of the mansion looked like a palace. Marble floors, golden chandeliers, paintings covering the walls. Eliane walked slowly, afraid to touch anything. Mama Murray handed her a simple uniform. You will clean the upstairs hallway. Yes, ma'am. You speak only when spoken to. Yes, ma'am. And never enter Madame Ekambi's private office. Eliane nodded. She only wanted to work, but someone in the house had already noticed her. From the balcony above, Madame Ekambi watched the new maid. The girl moved carefully while cleaning. Quiet, respectful, but something about her face felt strangely familiar. Madame Ekambi narrowed her eyes. Where had she seen that face before? The thought stayed in her mind for the rest of the day. That night, Madame Ekambi entered her bedroom and opened a locked drawer. Inside was a small wooden box she had not touched for years. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside were memories she had tried to forget. A tiny baby blanket, a photograph torn in half, and a small bracelet, exactly like the one Eliane carried. 24 years earlier, her newborn daughter had disappeared, and the pain never left her. Days passed. Eliane worked harder than anyone else in the house. One afternoon, as she cleaned the hallway, the necklace around her neck slipped open. The bracelet inside fell into her hand. Madame Ekambi saw it, and her heart stopped. It looked exactly like the bracelet from the wooden box. She immediately called Eliane. "Come here!" Madame Ekambi studied the bracelet carefully. "Where did you get this?" Eliane answered honestly. "My mother gave it to me before she died." "What was your mother's name?" "Clarisse." Madame Ekambi's hands began to shake. Clarisse had once worked for her many years ago, and then suddenly disappeared, with her baby. Madame Ekambi slowly opened the wooden box. Inside was the second bracelet. She held both pieces side by side. They were identical. Tears filled her eyes. She looked at Eliane with trembling lips. "My child." Eliane looked confused. "Ma'am?" Madame Ekambi whispered the words she never believed she would say again. "You are not my maid. You are my daughter." Eliane felt the world spin around her. All the questions she had asked her whole life suddenly had answers. Tears rolled down both their faces. For years they had lived separate lives, one rich, one poor. But fate had finally brought them back together, inside the very house where their story began. From that day forward, Eliane no longer slept in the servants' quarters. She lived inside the mansion as Madame Ekambi's daughter. The house that once felt empty now felt alive again. And sometimes, life returns what was lost, just when you least expect it.